The brand new version of Nemesis at Alton Towers is finally complete. In Planet Coaster, that is. If you didn't know, over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been recreating, or pre-creating if you want to call it that, because it is prior to its opening. We'll stick to pre-creating, it sounds better. The entirety of the new Nemesis as best I can, from the track to the supports to the station and even the individual 7,000 plus pieces of vein running across it. Yes, it took me forever. And that build is finally complete. So today, in this final episode, we're going to finish it up with a few final touches. Take a look around the entire area once more, and then we're going to try and open it up to guests. My computer won't handle it. This is not going to be fun. So if you did enjoy this series whilst it lasted and you want to see another one like this in the future, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Hello and welcome back for one final time to the Nemesis recreation or pre-creation series in Planet Coaster. It's been... well, I say it's been so long since I started this. It's actually only been about 2 or 3 weeks, which is crazy to think I've been able to do all of this in that short amount of time, whilst also making other videos and stuff. I don't really know how I've done it, but we are here for the final episode. And as you can see, finishing up the queue line. Now, the plan was to actually miss out a lot of the queue line because I thought it's a lot of unneeded pieces. And my computer is already dying from the sight of this entire project, so I might as well skip out a bit of the irrelevant parts of the queue, until it was realised that the queue has been completely rerouted, and that is a major change in this project, so I've included it. As you can see here, it's not going to be fully accurate because again, this is made before it's actually open. If you're somehow watching this in the future, you're a time traveller, congratulations. But don't be surprised if some of the queue line features of like the theming and the sort of layout of it are very different to what they actually turn out to be, because Alton Towers are being very secretive on what is going on inside the Nemesis site, so only things we see from the outside, that's basically what I'm going off. Like the spikes you can see on some of the claws and tentacle things on the station there, because we've seen that and I talked about that in the last episode. Either way, this project as a whole, we can summarise how this has been because it is now finished. It's been the most difficult and the hardest one, the one that's taken up the most of my life I think I've ever built in this game. Like, it is taken so long to build and it's very tedious with some of the things you have to do. Like, the station has multiple layers to it because I just couldn't get it right. The veins, obviously individual pieces, that's horrific as well. But it's probably my proudest one because I'm very happy with how it's come out. And when I look at it from afar, it does sort of look like Nemesis Reborn, and we still don't know if that's the actual name. But some of the things I had missed out beforehand that I needed to do that were a bit more major than, say, I don't know, queue line pathing and some trees and stuff, was a couple buildings, and this is one of them, the ride photography building here. As you can tell by the entrance side of it, I've closed it off. Nemesis isn't open in real life, so I can get away with it, but we don't actually know what it's going to look like on the inside of that building, whether it's going to change, whether it's still going to be the ride photography centre. I say centre as if it's some complex, it's literally just a small container building. But the main reason was that the piece count was going to be way too high if I built individual screens, and my PC can't handle that, I'm afraid, so I've had to skip on that one. And one thing I do want to mention as well that's just to the right of this is the station building itself. I talked about the fact that we've done that, there was a load of layers that went into it and it took forever to actually get right. The inside of that station, because Planet Coaster, I don't know why it's still doing this, because you can't have both station sides the same sort of width. One side is way longer than the other because you have to have these pre-made air gates that are just so long, and they may as well be their own queue line, they're that long. You can't really get an own custom station. I know you can do fake stations. I've had a few people comment saying you should follow this tutorial and do this, which thank you so much for the help, by the way. I just wanted it to be a vanilla Planet Coaster build, if that makes sense. Like, I just wanted to use the generic station model that you have, and I know that means that the station building inside doesn't look the greatest and doesn't really function properly, but the recreation still does, and I think that's what matters, because I've built this purely to see what it looks like. Same with Hyperia, just see what the outside looks like, have the appearance of all the theming and stuff around the area actually be there, but the inside of the station and stuff, I wasn't too bothered about. And hopefully you guys understand that I don't have all the time in the world. So I have had to cut some corners. We're back in the area that you've probably seen way too much in this series, this pathway here that literally just leads over there. Once again, I would love to do the rest of Forbidden Valley and like make it an entire area, but I don't really have the time and I don't really have the PC. But I have made this area completely accessible to guests. So if you want to open the park, they'll all come from over there. None of them will go up the observation platform, sadly, but they'll all make their way down here and then into the area. One thing that is new is this little building here. Again, not too much detail on them, but it's like some, I think it's like a car game thing. Good explanation, that. But either way, here is the Nemesis Reborn sign with the 30 on the logo there. Beautiful stuff. And if we come down here, as you can see, we're in to the main area. I've whacked some generators around because it's just funny. It's just classic Alton Towers, isn't it? The entrance right here, and then you can go up into the queue line. I think we should probably do that first, shouldn't we? It's a very basic queue line. It just follows along. It's a little bit slanted here because it's in the woods, I guess. You can come up here and you can see the first drop here from the lift hill. Down it goes. I actually did a bit of reprofiling to that first little pre-drop because it wasn't right at first, and I still don't think it's perfect, but it does the job. But you come down here a little bit, again a bit slanted, and we have some theming. Now, this isn't properly known what's here in real life, so I did my own thing. Over here we have a crashed car in the bottom. There should be some smoke coming out of the back of it if it wants to. There you go. Oh, look at it, it's just going straight into a bush. Nice. And then over here I decided to put a piece of track, which could be the old track that they still have in storage. You never know. That's wrapped in tentacles and it's sort of being surveyed by scientific sources, the idea being the same with these tentacles too. And then something I didn't really see until I'd finished this queue, I walked down here just as a test and I saw this view here. I can't wait to see this in person. Look at it. The main view here, like you can see. Wow, look at it go. It's not even going what I'm on about. And then down here, along with the queue line, this is probably the main piece of work I've been doing on this actual on-ride photo store here. It's closed, I can't get my photo. I think it's time to let some guests in. This is gonna go well. Right, so the coaster is open and the park is open. Now all we gotta do is just wait. Oh, here we go, there's people. They're coming in the masses. Whoa, why are they just sinking into the ground? There are no drink shops in this park. Yeah, there's not supposed to be. What a nice park. I like the look of Nemesis Reborn. Thank you. There's actually quite a few people standing around here just looking at it. I enjoy this. But yeah, look, this is giving me Nemesis closing day vibes. If I let me just turn it to night and it literally is that. There you go. It's Nemesis closing day, guys. Also, yeah, I've never really mentioned it, but I did put some night lighting on it. And it does look like this. I think it looks cool. Look at them go over the loop. Whoa. Full train's worth. Operations aren't slacking today. Well, it seems to be going down quite well, you know. Let's hope nothing happens like last time.